The Heir's Shadow, A Legacy of Lies. The piece that Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo had carved out for their son, Ji-hoon, was profound, but it was built upon a volcano of buried secrets. For 5 years, it held. The world watched with a collective, softened heart as the former lovers established a new paradigm of graceful co-parenting. Ji-hoon, now a bright-eyed teenager, grew up in a unique bubble of love, shielded from the worst of his parents' past. He knew the public story, the simplified version of a difficult time overcome by courage and love. But the true, intricate web of betrayal and power that had ensnared his family was a history he was spared. The calm was shattered not by a person, but by a piece of art. The catalyst, a boy's drawing. It began at a school art exhibition. A project titled, My Family's Legacy, featured Ji-hoon's work. While other children drew doctors, teachers, or shopkeepers, Ji-hoon, with the quiet introspection he'd inherited from both parents, had created a stunning, almost photorealistic pencil drawing. It was a portrait of his mother, Song Hye-kyo, but not as the glamorous actress. It was her as he saw her late at night, seated at her desk, a single lamp illuminating her face, which was etched with a sorrow so deep it took the viewer's breath away. The title was simple, The Weight of Your Crown. The image went viral instantly. It wasn't just the prodigious talent of the boy that captivated the world. It was the raw, intimate emotion. It exposed a truth the polished PR narratives had hidden. The scars of the past were not healed. They were masterfully concealed. The public's adoration for the family curdled into a piercing, uncomfortable empathy. The caption, posted by the school's art account, quoted Ji-hoon, "My mother carries a kingdom on her shoulders. I don't know who gave her the crown, but I wish I could take its weight away." The drawing was a seismic event in the family. For Hye-kyo, it was a heartbreaking confirmation that her son sensed the shadows she tried so hard to keep from him. For Min-ho, it was a catalyst for a long-suppressed fury. Their hard-won peace was a lie if their son still felt the ghost of their pain. The return of the past, a new player emerges. As the world dissected Ji-hoon's art, a new, formidable figure emerged from the ashes of Chairman Kwan's empire. Kwon-jun, the chairman's estranged nephew, whom everyone had forgotten. While the main Kwan family collapsed, Jun had been quietly building his own media conglomerate in the United States, specializing in aggressive, salacious digital content. He was a new kind of villain, not a shadowy traditionalist like his uncle, but a slick, tech-savvy predator who understood the modern economy of attention. Kwon-jun saw the viral drawing not as a touching moment, but as an opportunity. The public's renewed fascination with the family was a market to be exploited. He launched his attack not with blackmail, but with a documentary series announced on his global platform, The Heir's Shadow, the unauthorized story of a stolen dynasty. The trailer was a masterpiece of manipulation. It used real footage, the old, grainy photos, the leaked audio of Min-ho and Hye-kyo, but spliced it with ominous music and suggestive narration. It promised to reveal the real reason the child was hidden, hinting at a darker secret beyond the eternal contract. It alleged that Song Hye-kyo's past relationships were not just tabloid fodder, but part of a complex web of alliances and betrayals that led to the child's concealment. Most chillingly, it focused on Ji-hoon, questioning his paternity with sly edits and expert commentators, threatening to drag the boy directly into the spotlight he had always been protected from. This was a threat far greater than Chairman Kwan's legalistic prison. This was a threat to Ji-hoon's mind, his sense of self, and his safety at school. It was psychological warfare. The family's response, a counteroffensive. Cornered, Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo realized that silence was no longer a shield. They had to fight fire with a truth so brilliant it would eclipse Kwon-jun's lies. They decided to do the unthinkable. They would tell their own story, on their own terms, with their son's full knowledge and consent. They agreed to a single, live, primetime interview with a respected journalist known for her integrity. The world tuned in, expecting guarded answers and PR speak. They got something else entirely. The interview was a revelation. Hye-kyo, with a steely calm, spoke not just of the pain, but of the strategic calculations she made as a mother. "I was not just a victim," she said, her gaze unwavering. I was a general in a war I did not choose. Every smile for the camera, every role I accepted, was a move to build my power, my financial independence, so that when the day came to fight for my son, I would be unbreakable. She turned the narrative of a scorned woman on its head, revealing herself as a master strategist. Then, the interview took its most dramatic turn. The host addressed Ji-hoon, who was seated calmly between his parents. "Ji-hoon-sai," the host asked gently, "how do you feel about all of this? About your past being discussed by the whole world?" The teenager, with his father's poise and his mother's intelligent eyes, looked into the camera. "At first I was angry," he said, his voice clear. "I didn't understand why people were so interested in my life. But then I saw the bad documentary trailer. I saw them trying to use me to hurt my parents." He paused, and a determined look crossed his face. "So I asked my parents to tell me everything. The real story. Not the easy one. And they did." He then delivered the line that would break the internet and shatter Kwon Jun's narrative. "I know who my father is. I've always known. But more importantly, I know the strength it took for both my parents to protect me. The story isn't about a scandal. It's about their love for me. And if someone wants to attack my family, they'll have to go through me too." In that moment, Ji-hoon ceased to be a victim or a secret. He became the third pillar of their strength. The family was no longer a fractured unit but a unified fortress. The final twist, the source of the leaks. In the days following the interview, which was hailed as a landmark moment of celebrity transparency, Kwon Jun's documentary collapsed under the weight of its own malice. But one final mystery remained. Who was the original chronicle? The anonymous source who had started it all by leaking the secrets years ago? The answer came in a quiet, private meeting between Hye-kyo, Min-ho, and an elderly woman who had been Hye-kyo's first acting coach and lifelong mentor. The old woman smiled gently. "You never wondered how the chronicle had such intimate details?" she asked. "The handwriting on the note? The specific dates?" Hye-kyo stared, realization dawning. "It was you. Not just me," the mentor said. "It was us. A small circle of the women in your life, your mother, your closest friends. We watched you being crushed by that man's greed. We saw the light going out in your eyes. We decided that the only way to break a contract written in power was with a truth written in courage. We became the ghost that haunted Kwon. We started the fire, knowing that you, my dear, were strong enough to walk through it and emerge as the queen you are today."